Welcome to the third session of the chapter The Enemy. In the previous two sessions, we had read how an American prisoner of war reached at the doorstep of a Japanese doctor when the war was going on. Now, being a true nationalist, this doctor should hand over this prisoner of war to the army or the police. But that man was wounded. So, this Japanese doctor, whose name is Dr. Sadao, and his wife Hana, they both decided and they brought the man home. After bringing the man home, they informed the servants. The servants were frightened, they were superstitious, and plus, one of the servants bluntly refused that she would not wash the white man who was so dirty. And when she refused, Hana had to wash the white man, and then Sadao operated the man. This is what we have already read. But I'll tell you what is there in the remaining story. In the remaining story, Sadao operated that man. That man was okay. And after some time, he wanted the man to go, but the man was feeling himself safe in an enemy's house. Then Sadao does something to help that man again. So that is in the remaining chapter. So that's why this chapter has been titled The Enemy. The portion that we had read that day was Sadao started the operation, and after starting the operation, he told Hana to give the anesthetic. And when he opened that wound, Hana saw so much blood and she started to vomit. And he could not help Hana. That made him irritable with that man. That was where till we had read page number 33 we had done. Now we'll begin from page number 34. This man, he thought, there is no reason under heaven why he should live. Unconsciously, this thought made him ruthless, cruel, and he proceeded swiftly. In his dream, the man moaned in his stupor, like he was unconscious, and he was moaning. I mean, he was about to mutter something. But Sadao paid no attention, except to mutter at him. Groan, he muttered, groan if you like. I am not doing this for my own pleasure. In fact, I do not know why I am doing it. This is where you find students, he is still in a dilemma, and there is a dilemma, and you find a difference between his thoughts and his actions. He was doing the action of a doctor, but in his mind it was going on. Why he was doing it, he could not understand. Then the door opened and there was Hana again. Where is the anesthetic? She asked in a clear voice. Students, she must have vomited. She was feeling physically weak, but still she came to help Sadao, and that is where it is proved again that she is a very dutiful, attached and devoted wife. Then the door opened and there was Hana again. Where is the anesthetic? She asked in a clear voice. Sadao motioned with his chin. It is as well that you came back, he said. This fellow is beginning to stir. Students, doctors can't perform an operation if the patient moves, so they give anesthetic. And you know, just before that the patient was murmuring something. That means he might become conscious again. So you said this fellow was about to move. It's good that you have come. Then she had the bottle and some cotton in her hand. But how shall I do it? She asked. Students, it's not like that Hindi movies that you put the anesthetic on and you put on the face and the person becomes unconscious, because it has to be done very lightly, otherwise the person might die. And the anesthetic also has to be within limit, because if it mixes much in the blood, then also the person will die. So now here she asks, how should I do it? Simply saturate the cotton and hold it near his nostrils, Sadao replied without delaying for one moment the intricate detail of his work. Intricate, again a very good word. Intricate is complex and which requires attention. The opposite of this would be extricate. Okay. So intricate detail of his work. When he breathes badly, move it away a little. She crouched close to the sleeping face. Crouching means just like a rabbit, you just drop on your knees and you crouch close to that person. She crouched close to the sleeping face of the young American. It was a piteously thin face, she thought. Students, you would wonder that this question came in the exams, that what were Hana's thoughts while she was washing the white man in one of the set, and the second set had the question, what were Hana's thoughts while Sadao was operating and she saw the white man. So these are two different questions. While she was washing the white man, she was thinking how he was blonde and he's still not a child, and she kept on washing the white man, and then her anger at Sadao increased. These all things happened. But now when she saw Tom, Sadao operating Tom, his name is Tom, American prisoner. So when she saw Sadao operating Tom, what were her thoughts? So let us see that. She crouched close to the sleeping face of the young American. It was a piteously thin face, a very thin face on which you can have pity. Okay, then she thought, and the lips were twisted. The man was suffering, whether he knew it or not. Watching him, she wondered if the stories they heard sometimes of the suffering of prisoners were true. Students looking at the man. She was thinking whether this man was also tortured like the other prisoners of war. People hear that prisoners of war, if you know what are prisoners of war, if the war is going on between A side and B side, if an army personnel of B side reaches this side A, they capture this man and this man becomes a prisoner of war. So people hear that such people are tortured, they try to get information from them. So she was thinking whether this man also was tortured or not. And then she saw something. What was that? They came like flickers of rumor told by word of mouth and always contradicted. This information that prisoners are tortured, they came like rumors because nobody has ever seen. Army will not accept that we torture the prisoners. So they came like rumor, they spread through mouth, and always they were contradicted by the armies. No, we don't torture prisoners of war. Then it was in the news. In the newspapers, the reports were always that wherever the Japanese armies went, the people received them gladly with cries of joy at their liberation. But sometimes she remembered such men as General Takima, who at home beat his wife cruelly, though no one mentioned it now that he had fought so victorious a battle in Manchuria. Students, the meaning of these lines is, she thought General Takima used to beat his wife at home, and that too very cruelly. Would he not be cruel to a prisoner of war? So she thought if a man could be cruel to his wife so much, he would be more cruel to the soldiers or the prisoners of war. So she thought this man also must have been tortured. Okay, then if a man like that could be so cruel to a woman in his power, would he not be cruel to one like this, for instance? She hoped anxiously that this young man had not been tortured. It was at this moment that she observed deep red scars on his neck. It was just here she noticed that there were deep red scars. That means, was this man tortured? She thought. Maybe yes. Okay, just under the ear, those scars, she murmured, lifting her eyes to Sadao, but he did not answer. At this moment, he felt the tip of his instrument strike against something hard, dangerously near the kidney, and that hard thing was the bullet. So, did Sadao find the bullet? Yes. And was he even listening to what Hana was saying? Not at all. Then, dangerously near the kidney, all thought left him. He felt only the purest pleasure. He felt so happy that I found the bullet. Then he probed with his fingers, delicately familiar with every atom of this human body. Student surgeons are excellent, they should be excellent in their job, of course, because they should be familiar with each and every atom of the body. They cannot say, I made a mistake and because of this mistake, this vein was cut. So he was familiar with every atom, okay, and where to take the bullet out. That shows he was a very good and excellent surgeon. Then, his old American professor of anatomy had seen to that knowledge, and he remembered the professor's words. Ignorance of the human body is the surgeon's cardinal sin, sirs. He had thundered at his class year after year. Sadao remembered each and every word said by his professor, and his professor used to say, don't say, I don't know. You can't say, a doctor cannot say, I don't know a human body, because a doctor's mistake and his not having the knowledge of the human body can kill a person. It's about life and death of a person. A doctor cannot say, I don't know, I'm ignorant. Okay, then he had thundered at his classes years after years. To operate without as complete knowledge of the body as if you had made it, anything less than that is murder. He said, if you operate without knowledge, you are committing a murder. That's why Sadao became a very good surgeon, because he followed the words of his professors. So if you are asked, what were Sadao's thoughts while he was operating? It was this only. He remembered his professor's words. Then, it is not quite at the kidney, my friend. Did you notice something here? He's saying it is not quite at the kidney, my friend. From the face, from the mouth, he's saying my friend. And he forgets that the man on whom he is operating is his enemy. Because my friend, it came with habit. He used to address his patients as my friend. And he forgot that time that the man was his enemy. That shows how involved he was there in the operation. Then, it's not quite at the kidney, my friend, Sadao murmured. It was his habit to murmur to the patient when he forgot himself in an operation. My friend, he always called his patients, and so now he did, forgetting that this was his enemy. Then quickly, with the cleanest and most precise of the incisions cut. The bullet was out. The man quivered. He shook, he trembled. The man quivered, but he was still unconscious. Nevertheless, he muttered a few English words. Guts, he muttered, choking. They got my guts. Sadao, Hana cried sharply. She said, he's about to get up. So if he gets up, how would he operate? Because stitches are still left. Then Sadao, Hana cried sharply. Hush, Sadao said. The man sank again into silence so profound, deep. Again the man became unconscious and Sadao thought, has he died or what? Because the silence was so deep. Okay, the man sank again into silence so profound that Sadao took up his wrist, hating the touch of it. He wanted to see whether the man is dead or what. Okay, yes, there was still a pulse, so faint, so feeble, but enough if he wanted the man to live to give hope. But certainly, I do not want this man to live, he thought. Students, again, you see that dilemma? A difference between thoughts and actions. He's saying, I don't want this man to live. Then why was he saving him? So here you find a difference. Then, but certainly I do not want this man to live, he thought. No more anesthetic, he told Hana. He turned as swiftly as though he had never paused, and from his medicines he chose a small vial and from it filled a hypodermic. Those who have little bit idea of injections know, there is a glass tube and there is a slender neck. They break the neck, they take a syringe, it's an injection. They insert the syringe, then they move it so that the liquid comes inside, and then they inject this liquid into the body. That hypodermic is actually the syringe, the injection that we say. He did that. That means, was he choosing the right medicine for that man? Yes. And just now he said, I don't want him to live. Then why was he saving him? This is, students. While he was saying as a nationalist. But while he was doing something as a doctor. Okay, so now see. Then putting down the needle, he filled a hypodermic and thrust it into the patient's left arm. Then putting down the needle, he took the man's wrist again. The pulse under his fingers fluttered once or twice and then grew stronger. That means, was the man recovering? Yes. Students, here we have completed the whole thing, how Sadao operated the man. What did we do? Let us revise it from the beginning. Tom's operation. He decided to operate. He asked Hana to bring towels and everything. Hana brought the matting, but the blood had destroyed the mat underneath. Sadao asked Hana to give him anesthetic. Hana, then he turned the man, and when he started the operation, Hana saw that blood. She started to vomit, but she came back, gave anesthetic. Sadao operated the man. He made a very clean cut. He took the bullet out. He remembered the words said by his anatomy professor, and then when he found that the operation was over, the man's pulse had become weak, he gave him a correct injection, and this is how he saved the man. So if you are asked the complete question, this is how you are going to answer. Now, students, comes the part when this man opens his eyes and he finds himself in an enemy's house. He finds himself in Japanese house. Now see what happened. So here just see this part, what happened first day after the operation. So let us see this, the last second line, page number 35. The young man woke, so weak, his blue eyes so terrified when he perceived where he was. Then that Hana felt compelled to apologize. Students, he understood that I am in an enemy's house, and he was so much frightened that Hana apologized. Okay, she herself served him, for none of the servants would enter the room. Students, you find something unusual here. The servants were against the master and the mistress, but Hana and Sadao kept on saving this man. So here you find a difference. These three servants are Japanese, these two also are Japanese, but their behavior is entirely different. Now, when she came in the first time, she saw him gather his small strength to be prepared for some fearful thing. He was about to get up, and at the back were the stitches. So Hana said, "Don't be afraid," she begged him softly. "How come you speak English?" He was astonished. Hana is a Japanese and she was speaking English. "I was a long time in America," she replied. She saw he wanted to reply to that, but he could not, and she knelt and fed him gently from the porcelain spoon. He ate unwillingly, but still he ate. "Now you will soon be strong," she said, not liking him and yet moved to comfort him. He did not answer. What do you find when the first day man opened his eyes? He found himself in an enemy's house. He was astonished that Hana was speaking in English, and then she fed him. Then he also did not like maybe that he was there in an enemy's house. He was frightened, but still he ate. This happened the first day. What happened the third day after the operation? Just see. When Sadao came in the third day, so after this you have to prepare in this manner. Okay, now when Sadao came in the third day after the operation, he found the young man sitting up, his face bloodless with the effort. Students, he tried to get up and he had just got up. And Sadao came and he started to scold him. Why did you get up? You have the stitches at the back. Now, lie down, Sadao cried. Do you want to die? He forced the man down gently and strongly and examined the wound. You may kill yourself if you do this sort of thing, he scolded. What are you going to do with me? The boy muttered. Said, what are you going to do with me? He looked just now barely 17. Are you going to hand me over? Said, are you going to hand me over means? Are you going to hand me over to the police? For a moment, Sadao did not answer. He finished his examination and then pulled the silk quilt over the man. Why Sadao did not answer? Maybe he did not have any answer. Then, I do not know myself what I shall do with you, he said. I ought of course to give you to the police. You are a prisoner of war. No, do not tell me anything. He stopped the man. He said, don't tell me anything. And then he said one more thing. Just see here. He put up his hand as he saw the young man was about to speak. Do not even tell me your name unless I ask it. Said, if I ask you, then only you tell me your name. Otherwise, don't even tell me your name. He was being so much cautious. Don't tell me your name. Afterwards, although he told the name to Hana, that his name was strong. Then they looked at each other for a moment, and then the young man closed his eyes and turned his face to the wall. Okay, he whispered, his mouth a bitter line. Outside the door, Hana was waiting for Sadao. He saw at once that she was in trouble. And what was that trouble? Sadao, Yumi tells me the servants feel they cannot stay if we hide this man here anymore. Students, were the servants wrong? On their part, they were correct. Because if the police comes, they will ask the servants why you people did not inform. They did not inform, they are culprit. But they will also become culprits because they are a part to the crime, they did not tell the police. So were they right on their part? Yes. And were Sadao and Hana right on their part? Yes. You cannot blame anybody. Okay. Now, she said, she tells me that they are saying that you and I were so long in America that we have forgotten to think of our own country first. They think we like Americans. As Japanese servants, they were not wrong. Okay. It's not true, Sadao said harshly. Americans are our enemies, but I have been trained not to let a man die if I can help it. The servants cannot understand that, she said anxiously. No, he agreed. Neither seemed able to say more, and somehow the household dragged on. Dragged on means it kept on moving. The servants grew more watchful. Their courtesy was as careful as ever. That means they were doing their work. Whatever work was assigned, they were doing their work. But their eyes were cold upon the pair to whom they were hired. Through their eyes, they were saying, whatever you are doing, we don't like it. They were doing their work, but through their eyes they were telling that we don't like all this thing. Then something happened, and this question came as a 6-mark question. That is what happened after that the servants kept on talking to each other. And you'll find one astonishing thing. These three, cook, gardener and Yumi, all three of them were talking, and purposely they were speaking so that Hana listens to what they are speaking. So what were they speaking? Just see here. So you have to see the dialogue of the cook, the dialogue of gardener, dialogue of Yumi. So see here. It is clear what a master ought to do. The old gardener said one morning. He had worked with flowers all his life and had been a specialist too in moss. Moss garden, they grow the grass, that's the moss. Okay, a thick pack of grass. For Sadao's father, he had made one of the finest moss gardens in Japan, sweeping the bright green carpet constantly so that not a leaf or a pine needle marred the velvet of its surface. He was such a good gardener that the whole moss garden was kept and continuously kept on sweeping it so that not even a small leaf was left. Such a good gardener. Then, my old master, see what he says. My old master's son knows very well what he ought to do, he now said, pinching a bud from a bush as he spoke. When the man was so near death, why did he not let him bleed? Said, when the man was dying, why did our master save us? Save him. He should not have saved that man. Got it? This is what is the thought of the gardener. And when he was dying, he should not have saved him. See what is the view of the cook. And here you will find that the cook was a cruel lady. I'll not say cruel, but yes, she doesn't have pity. How? Just see. That young master is so proud of his skill to save life that he saves any life. See, our master is so proud of his skill. He saves any life. He doesn't see which life he is saving. And what was she doing? The cook said contemptuously, full of hatred. And she said what? She spilt a fowl's neck skillfully and held the fluttering bird and let its blood flow into the roots of a wisteria vine. Blood is the best of fertilizer, and the old gardener would not let her waste a drop of it. What did she do? Fowl is a type of a bird, just like from the hen family, and they cook it. So she took that bird, spilled the neck. Okay, the bird's body was fluttering. She kept the fluttering bird over the particular plant, so that blood went on that plant. Blood was a fertilizer, and the gardener said, "Don't waste any drop of blood." But this requires some strength, that cruelty. Eating non-veg is not wrong, but it requires strength in order to kill in this manner, and they hold the fluttering bird like that. Then the blood goes on that man. So here you find a bit of cruelty. Then now you must have got the thought of gardener was that he said when he was dying, why did he save him? The dialogue of the cook was that our master is so proud of his skill that he saves any life, he doesn't see which life he is saving. And see Yumi's thoughts. It is the children of whom we must think. Yumi said, what will be their fate if their father is condemned as a traitor? Traitor? Anti-nationalist? She said, what will happen when the father is sent as a traitor? Then they did not try to hide what they said from the ears of Hannah as she stood arranging the day's flowers in the veranda nearby, and she knew they spoke on purpose that she might hear. That they were right, she knew too in most of her being. Hannah was thinking, why, the servants are not wrong. Whatever they are thinking also is correct. Then, but there was another part of her which she herself could not understand. It was not sentimental liking of the prisoner. She herself was not understanding, why are we saving that man? Then she had come to think of him as a prisoner. She had not liked him even yesterday when he had said in his impulsive way, anyway, let me tell you that my name is Tom. Now we come to know that American prisoner's name is Tom. She had only bowed her little distant bow. She saw hurt in his eyes, but she did not wish to assuage it. A very good word students noted down, and that is assuage means remove. She did not try to remove it. Indeed, he was a great trouble in this house. After that, the next paragraph I am going to stop. As for Sadao, every day he examined the wound carefully. The last stitches had been pulled out this morning, and the young man would be in a fortnight, in 15 days or something, in a fortnight be nearly as well as ever. Sadao went back to his office and carefully typed a letter to the chief of police reporting the whole matter. On the 21st day of February, an escaped prisoner was washed up on the shore in front of my house. So far he typed, and then he opened a secret drawer of his desk and put the unfinished report into it, because he understood, I cannot finish this report, because if I finish this report, they'll come and arrest him. He wanted to find some other way. Okay, and what was that other way? That will be done afterwards. But in this chapter, the next shock comes when the servants leave the house and go. And that is coming on this same page. So we'll do it in the next session. So what have we done right from the beginning is, Sadao, how was he attached to his father? How he met Hannah and both of them got married, how he saw the man and they faced a dilemma, how they carried the man home, how Sadao operated the man, what were Hannah's thoughts during the operation, what were Sadao's thoughts during the operation, then what happened first day after the operation, what happened third day after the operation, what was the conversation among the servants regarding the presence of that man, and why Sadao did not finish the report that he typed. Till there we have done. The remaining part we'll do in the next session. Thank you.